Our next guest is the CEO and co-founder of Blockchain Creative, the folks responsible for bringing Dolly Parton to South by Southwest this year. Thank you so much, Scott Greenberg, for being here and for bringing Dolly to South by Southwest.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
And
thanks for wearing a hat and boots. You got the boots. I don't know if they could pick up the boots. You got both of them. Boom!
Well, it is Austin, so we've been coming down here. It's Blockchain Creative Labs.
Blockchain Creative Labs.
We're a Fox company, and our team members down here, when we first formed the company just less than a year ago, we felt South by Southwest was the right place to do this, and Austin the right city for a few reasons. One, your roots as a place of independent filmmakers, connecting them with audiences is at the core of what we're trying to do at Blockchain Creative Labs. Two, how you brought technology and the arts together with audiences. So we felt this was the right place to tell our story and our message.
And explain this to me.
And being in Austin, I came down here, had to get a hat, had to get boots.
It's obligatory.
Absolutely.
You got to blend in with the crowd.
Yes.
And you also have to have Tex-Mex and then eat a barbecue buffet to the point where you can't walk.
I have enough queso in me to last a lifetime.
For a lifetime of queso, good. Explain this to me like I'm an 8-year-old real quick. Sure. Blockchain.
Well, blockchain is a decentralized ledger, right? So you know what a database is. So I'm not a technologist, I'm a creative business executive. We work with a lot of great technologists, but in essence, when people talk about Web3, it's a umbrella concept that includes blockchain, which is a decentralized ledger. It includes NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, which are registered on the blockchain, and tokens, and the metaverse, and really all this whole real movement of, it's really about decentralization, owning your data back. But really, if you want the simplest way to describe it, if you're an 8-year-old, because you're an 8-year-old, you play Roblox, or you play.
My son is addicted to Roblox.
Or you play Minecraft, or you play one of the Epic games. And the kids today, they understand owning digital goods. They spend time with their friends in these virtual worlds. They buy things with virtual currencies. They build things. And that, in essence, is what the blockchain is. So an NFT is basically digital property. So if I had this cup in the real world, my digital version would be an NFT. There's only one like it. It would have an identifying number, or identifying something, and that's an NFT. And the best way to think about what an NFT is in the blockchain, it's digital property, something you own, and on the blockchain it's registered. So it'll say that I owned it and you bought it from me, and that you know who owns it. So all provenance is open and verifiable. So there's a lot of, it's very early days, but a lot of great applications you're going to see in the future.
It's early days, but there is a massive investment here where Fox has put in $100 million specifically into blockchain.
Sure.
And you're the kind of the guy who's been charged to run this small little operation, sir.
Yes.
No pressure. And the origin story here is amazing because you're also one of the creatives who's responsible for Bob's Burgers. And when you were doing Bob's Burgers and other animation, did you ever think, you know what? This is going to lead me to blockchain and working with Dolly Parton. Excellent.
Day one, that was the plan,
of course.
right? And this is a long game. No, look. So I run an animation company called Bentobox, and one of our amazing shows, we create is Bob's Burgers, amongst many others. We have, we have Central Park, we have Brickleberry, we have on Fox now we have Crapopolis, a new Dan Harmon show. We have many other shows happening. So my partners and I founded the company, and we sold the company to Fox 3 years ago. And so, after Fox sold all the assets to Disney, you have the Fox network, which is an animation still at the heart of the network. So they
Simpsons, King of the Hill,
exactly,
Bob's Burgers.
Exactly.
Still going strong.
So my company, we're the animation studio for Fox. We're making animated shows. And look, and I think what you saw happening about a year ago, a lot of artists that we work with were selling their arts as NFTs, their art as NFTs. And we're curious what's going on here, what's happening. And so that kind of led into Bentobox being the right place to really lead the charge for Fox, because it's really a creator-driven economy and everything we do is digital. And so we felt that this was the right place to do it. And our hypothesis is slightly different. You have a lot of early adopters, a lot of VC-funded business. From a Fox perspective, we want to help educate mainstream audiences around the world to understand what it means to own a digital good. Right, and so
like you're educating me right now.
Like I'm educating you right now. There's a lot of early adopters, early crypto people. But our view is, 30 years ago, Fox taught America how to text on American Idol. So Ryan Seacrest opened the flip phone and said,
it's
"America."
30 years already.
It might be longer. My math might be off, but in essence, nobody knew how to text, right? And so more people voted for the winner of American Idol those years than they did for the presidential election. So we feel, how do we leverage our platform from broadcast and all our amazing sports events and TV shows to teach people? and understand. And we're also betting long ball. We want to make it easy for mainstream Americans and worldwide to use it, and create tools for creators to onboard. So our view is, we're betting on what's the future of content production and distribution on the blockchain, because we think there's a real huge opportunity there in the future, and that's what we're betting and building towards. So the money that Fox gave my team, and it's not just me, I have Melody Hildebrand, who's the CISO of Fox, Chief Information Security Officer, and also the president of BCL, and also co-founder of it. And we pulled amazing people from around Fox, also from outside, to really build an amazing team. And the $100 million is for content. It's to invest in creators. And the first deal we did was with the WWE, because
can't go wrong with that brand.
Amazing. Stephanie McMahon was here yesterday at South by, and she came and stopped by our house with Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter, both WWE royalty. And so SmackDown is on Friday nights on Fox, which is the #1 rated show on Friday nights. And so we felt, here's a huge audience with very engaged fans who love great stories and content that's global. So our view was, let's double down with them as our partner. And so we licensed a global NFT rights for the WWE. And we're going to educate those fans what it means to own a digital good. First, this is a digital.
First, you have to educate them.
To educate them, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to educate them, saying this is it, this is real, it's not a scam. You actually have digital property rights, that's value. It might have utility, it might have social clout. Then once we educate them, we're going to move into places like Discord to have a conversation, and ultimately teach them how to buy and own. And so that's a conversation and leveraging the Fox broadcast. So yesterday, Stephanie here at South by Southwest, yesterday being Sunday, no day this airs, we announced the name of our new marketplace. It's going to be called the Wwe Moonsault. Moonsault. So Moonsault is a huge move, is a classic WWE move. If I would do it here, but I'm too exhausted. You basically get on top of a rope, jump backwards, and twist, and it's a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
And so we thought,
very difficult to do.
Very difficult to do. I could be pretty good at it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
So
the first thing when I said, I'm like, this guy's Moonsault is exquisite.
So one was just an homage to a really classic move for WWE. Two, To the Moon is kind of, what we talked about. Yeah, exactly. So awesome names that launched today, wwemoonsault.com. And so we're doing that. We announced a relationship with the USFL, New Football League, and helping them, really having fans have engaging, early adopting there, and helping the young players and invest in those players, not invest, but like kind of support the players and buy NFTs. Our animated show, Crapopolis, our Dan Harmon show.
It's curated. So yes. I was reading that Crapopolis is curated by blockchain, right? And so when someone reads that, they're like, what does that mean?
Curated on the blockchain.
Yeah, so it's curated on the blockchain. What does that mean?
It's a great question. So what it really means is everything's digital, and everything we do, we identify it and it's logged. So at the beginning I said the blockchain is a database. Right. So everything that we're creating for the show, from every drawing, is identified, it has metadata, and it's logged on the blockchain. Every piece of art. And if you think about a shot in a show, every layer, every piece is on a piece of art. So everything is logged, and then we have it in our own private database. And in the next month or so, we're going to start releasing that to the fans, not just as collectibles. We want to create an experience. We want to start engaging our fans to feel vested, become advocates of the show, feel like they're early adopters. And this is not a one-time. This show's going to run, God willing, for 10 plus years. So we're going to use those things as, if you're a member of the club, you can only have access to it. Maybe we'll sell some of it as collectibles. Maybe you might have an opportunity to be engaging or own a piece of something. So we're really going to show a show's going to air on Fox on a Sunday night. And then the next day, you might be able to buy an episode, but really leveraging the power of Fox, of a really A-list marquee brand. No disrespect to other projects out there. A lot of these these Web3 based animated projects never would have seen the light of day at a Fox or at a streamer. So we're talking about...
So this is high quality content made by the creme de la creme content creators, and then now you're reaching out to the audience saying, invest.
Well, it's not investing. Investing's not a word we want to use about this, but it's ownership, it's buying in. Because I think look, we're trying to shift the paradigm where if you're a fan of a show, you're giving your time, right? You're spending time, so you should have value for that time. You should be rewarded for being... somebody who watched the show early. So by owning something that's limited in capacity or limited in numbers, there's value to that. So you might have value for owning it, but it's not an investment, right? But it's your time. It either has utility. It might give you access. Something might be limited access. It'll be social clout to show I was a fan of the show before it aired. Now it's the biggest thing, right? And so all of the above. And I think that's really what it is.
Scott, if I own it, right? And,
Yeah.
and again, I'm speaking as a layman. So
Sure.
Thank you for tolerating my ignorance.
No.
I'm trying to learn.
It's okay.
If I invest early,
Yes.
suppose I see it. I'm like, you convinced me on Krabopolis. I'm going to watch it. I saw it. The next year, you're offering NFTs.
Yep.
I'm going to take my money. I'm going to own a piece of it, maybe
Yep.
a still or.
Yep.
What will that ownership do for me? How will that increase in value? What can I do with it? Can I sell it? Can I trade it?
First of all, you can always sell it and trade it, right?
Okay.
So open marketplace and you're done with it. If you, it's not like no different than a secondhand store, right? Selling. So you have OpenSea and these other marketplaces. We might have a marketplace on our storefront, but again, each NFT might be different, right? One might just be a piece of art. One might be actually access to an episode of television or the whole season to watch it. Each one's have different utility. So it's not only one size fits all. Each one's going to have different utility. It might be access to content. It might be access to talent. It might have other things. It might have social clout saying, we only had a limited number of these because you saw the first episode. And some of it, and then so when you're done with it, if you watched it, you can resell it. Or it might be use and burn. Like you can use this one time to have a version of yourself drawn in a character. I mean, there's multiple uses.
Have you done that yet?
Have me personally done it? I do have. They do draw me for good and for bad in our shows. So.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
And
some I'm not supposed to see. Some I do see.
So you're talking about royalty, right? I'm talking about talent that
Yeah.
comes in. You got WWE, huge brand. You got Dan Harmon, creator of Community. You got his new animated show.
Yeah.
You have the Queen,
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, coming to South by Southwest, teaming up with your new company, doing Dollyverse through blockchain. How did you convince her to invest in it?
So I want to come back also to. I want to talk about Dolly, but I'll come back and also talk about entry level stars with South by Southwest, because for us we're not just dealing with this level. We want to make this accessible for the entry level. But look, Dolly, we have a relationship with her team. Dolly just released a new book with James Patterson called Run Rose Run, and an album. And so they're looking at ways of talking about them, promoting it. And we, right place, right time, we said, we'd love for you guys to come to South by Southwest. We'd love the opportunity to help take your album, engage with the, she's an amazing person, what she's done during COVID. And
she's Dolly Parton.
She's Dolly Parton. So we wanted to say, here's a new way of engaging with your fans. We want to sell your album as an NFT. So the conversation started there. We sell parts of your book as an NFT. And then come to South by, let's do a conversation and a concert. And so just her as an innovator and understanding it. And again, what's beautiful about this is you're disintermediating a middle person. There's no middle platform. Dolly selling directly to her fans, and the money goes to her. And so like the beautiful thing with Web3 is there's no middle party taking their 30%. You don't have to wait for an accounting back. It's truly a one-to-one relationship of the fan and the creator.
How do you and Fox make money?
It's about making money.
Yeah.
No, look, we make first and foremost.
Well, what's your? Let me put it this way: if it's one-on-one, right?
Yes.
If it's Dolly, the creator, with the audience, empowers the audience to have a stake in it, right? You're rewarding them for their value, their investment, their brand loyalty, their time. My question then, it's not a skeptical question, it's not a snarky question, it's like, all right, well, what does Fox get?
Look, we are looking for the future of content distribution. So where we come in, we're building the software tools to power this, right? So for us, you look at us today, we are the broadcast network, right? So you have Fox Network, and then you have, your local affiliate here in Austin. We have multiple affiliates around the country. That's our platform, right? You have Fox Sports, you have cable,
you have Fox
News.
Entertainment, you got the movie library.
Right, so no different than the pipes that we deliver content, we're building new software to do the same thing. So for one level, there's a company called Alluvia, which we've invested in, it's a decentralized video storage and streaming company, and we're using them to power it. And so, look, we are investing in the infrastructure and pipes to support this, because right now, Melody Hildebrand, who's our president and co-founder, she says it's not easy right now. She says, but with friction comes freedom. So right now, it's not easy to put content and buy content on Web3. It will get easier, but the friction is freedom, because you get your data back, you get your information back. And so the things we need to build is to make this easy. So when we talk about this, we're not saying, oh, I'm doing this on Web3, on NFT. Oh, God willing, I'm here sitting with you next year, the year after. It's more it's more accepted. It's like, oh, we're just doing it. And
because there's a skepticism here.
Sure.
You need early adopters.
Yeah.
There's a lack of faith.
Yeah.
Is this a Ponzi scheme? What's happening here? And you need enough people to invest in it and be like, oh, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And just for some pushback from a guest I had earlier on, Ben McKenzie, the actor. He says, this is the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
blockchain, NFTs, crypto, it's a Ponzi scheme. I think the average Jose who's going to come in now, they don't have the leverage, the value, the power, the backing of a Fox. The Fox and the Scots, they're going to make their money. But once inevitably this bubble bursts, I don't know when, it's the average Jose's that you're trying to like bring in that they're going to get screwed. Again, that's his point of view. So that type of skepticism, what's your response to that?
First of all, I welcome the debate, and I welcome the comment because he's identifying things that are a problem, right? Because in any new opportunity, there are bad actors. And part of the reason why we're here is we're an established company. We're not VC funded. We're not going to collect, we're not fly by night. We're not going away. Our senior management has invested and we're here for the long ball. Two, we intentionally, when we release our content, are pricing it low and controlling the cost because we do not want that. We don't want speculators coming to drive price up. That's bad for the business. What we want is to give freedom to the consumer to control back your personal data, freedom to the creator to control your information, sell directly to your fan. You set the price, you get the money, and also have a wonderful relationship so that somebody else is not taking it from you. So for us, we agree. We don't disagree. We want the conversation about the tools for the creator to own the relationship, for the fan to have that opportunity, and avoid these bad actors doing it. I don't disagree. Look, in any business, there's bad actors. So for us, we're the adult in the room. We've been around for a while, and we're trying to get ahead of it and be leaders, saying this is where the world needs to go. We believe in smart regulation. We believe in smart rules. We believe bad actors should be punished. And so we're here to help set those guardrails because, we talk about the waitress in Wisconsin for the Masked Singer. We want them to. You trust Fox. You trust our brands. You trust the advertisers come along with us. So our job is to set the guardrails to protect them. And so we're totally aligned. I just ask somebody like him as a skeptic, before you make an assumption about us, give us a chance to explain what we're doing to prove we're building the right product for the right people for the long haul.
And you said you're here at South by. South by oftentimes also discovers and launches young talent.
So look, how
are you guys going to do that?
So we're now Monday, right? So this past weekend we had our Blockchain Creative Labs house at 5th and Trinity, which was amazing. We had lines down the street, and that was all about the conversation. We had a centralized exchange where we had people from our shows and projects talking about the confluence of Web3 and technology. We really encourage people coming from your stages and talking about how it can work together. We had a gallery showing the art we're doing. South by, as a title sponsor, we worked together. We went out to all your filmmakers and your musicians and said, here's an opportunity to opt in. You can use a proof of attendance, proof of participation token, which is called a POAP, P-O-A-P. So you'll see around the venues this week, having QR codes, so if you show up, you can scan it. It's basically having a ticket stub proving I was there. The great story, Sean Ullman, who's on our team, who brought us here, talks about, there's that famous Amy Winehouse concert for South by, everybody talks about, so her breakout concert. If you count the number of people said at that show, there's probably enough people to fill, Madison Square Garden. But there's probably only about 500 people there. So in the next one that happens, well, if you have the POAP, you can prove it. So we're giving that for free. Two, we're also we have a creator portal where we're enabling musicians and filmmakers to sell their song or sell posters to fund themselves. And it's working great. We had a listening bar at our house where you basically listen to earn. So you listen to the song, it was visualized. At the end, you scanned, you got the song. We did a event with your film department. We did about 20 film posters. We had an auction of those, and they're all available on the South by Southwest store right now, and also at bcl.xyz. So for us, we want to give young creators or just creators, independent creators, the tools to speak and build their audiences directly and have that value. So to us, they don't need to go get that big deal to go make the money. In a perfect world, if they have 1,000 true fans who want to support them, they should be able to have the patronage and have them funding it. If you think back to Napster, right? Napster was
back in the day.
Napster, it shared stuff, but nobody had value. But now Napster as a peer-to-peer network, which is much more like decentralized content, but now you take a blockchain, which is open verifiable ledger. You can now log every transaction on a peer-to-peer. So now, a Napster with limited scope and every song has its identifiable property rights that you can control. That's a huge opportunity here. It's really giving the power back to the artist and the creator and to the audience member to choose when to monetize their content and their information.
Scott, I could talk to you for another 30 minutes because it was very educational for a layman like me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
For the people who are watching right now, you got Dolly and James Patterson coming, and you got a concert. Where can they find them?
So Friday the 18th, If you go to welcome-to-dollyverse.com, the James Patterson conversation, Dolly Parton concert will be streamed for free thanks to South by Southwest and BCL. If you go to that site, you'll log in, it'll be streamed on the blockchain, and you'll see it'll be high 4K quality, it's more cost effective and great for the environment. And then it'll be available for 30 days after to rent. You can also buy a limited edition poster there, and you can actually buy 5,000 unique copies of her album. So that's there, that welcome-to-dollyverse.com. If you go to bcl.xyz, you can learn a lot more about what we're doing here. And then if you go to Wwe Moonsault.com, you can go sign up and learn more about our WWE Marketplace launching.
Stay around for a minute, because
Sure.
after we're finished, you're going to do a moonsault off the couch.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to record it. Scott, thanks so much for being here. Don't forget, you can watch all of our studio interviews on the South by Southwest TV app, available on Apple TV, Roku, Android TV, and Amazon Fire. These interviews are also available on our YouTube channel at YouTube/SXSW. For a complete list of our interview schedule, check out sxsw.com/studio. I'm Wajat Ali. Thanks for tuning in.